So about a week ago, I did a battery charge test to find out which one of these devices charged the quickest. The P30 Pro won with a close second by the Galaxy Note 10 Plus, but I got a lot of comments from you guys. You guys were asking for a battery drain test instead. You wanted to find out which device has the best battery life. Now, obviously, all of these devices were charged to 100%. And the first thing I did was a boot test, but I realized I only have two hands and I can't push all the power buttons on at the same time. But based on my initial impressions, all of these devices take anywhere from 20 to 30 seconds to boot up, and the differences are very, very minor. The next thing I tested was to do a couple of benchmark tests. The first one I did was Geekbench. Geekbench basically tests the CPU performance, and as you can see here, the iPhone 11, 11 Pro, and 11 Pro Max had very similar scores, but also happened to be the fastest chipset on this table. When it comes to raw, sheer performance, the iPhone 11s take the lead. Now in second place was the OnePlus 7T, and that's because it's rocking the brand new Snapdragon 855 Plus. This is an updated version of the 855, and as you can see here, compared to the Galaxy Note 10 Plus, there is a bit of a performance boost. Now the next test I ran was Antutu. This places more of an emphasis on the GPU, and as you can see, the iPhone 11 again beat out all of these devices. No surprise here. Apple's A13 is just so far ahead from the competition that it's never a surprise every single year. Now, after 1 hour, the Note 10 Plus is at 82%, iPhone 11 at 84%, iPhone 11 Pro Max 88%, OnePlus 7T is at 80%, P30 Pro 89%, and the iPhone 11 Pro at 85%. Right now, the P30 Pro is showing the best battery life. Now, it's really hard to make this battery test very concise because you have to remember, everybody's use case is gonna be very different. The way you use your phone is gonna be different to the way I'm using my phone. Like for example, this test is not doing any Google Maps. It's not having the GPS go on constantly because everything is pretty much static. Like I'm controlling the variables that go into this test. So take this test as the most unscientific approach to finding out the best battery life. It's just not a measurable feature, but it will give us a good idea about which device has the best battery life. Now, after 2 hours, the Note 10 Plus is at 75%, the iPhone 11 at 78%, iPhone 11 Pro Max at 83%, OnePlus 7T 72%, P30 Pro at 82%, iPhone 11 Pro at 79%. I find it crazy that the P30 Pro is now below the Pro Max, whereas on the first hour it was doing a much better job of keeping the most battery. Now, after 3 hours, the Note 10 Plus is at 68%, iPhone 11 at 70%, iPhone 11 Pro Max at 79%, OnePlus 7T at 65%, P30 Pro 76%, and iPhone 11 Pro at 72%. iPhone 11 Pro Max is still in the lead with the P30 Pro in second. The gap is starting to be a little bigger by another percentage, but it's still not that big of a deal. So both phones are pretty close. It looks like the OnePlus 17 is just draining the fastest. And my guess is because of the 90 Hz display. I'm sure if I left it on 60 Hz instead, the results of the OnePlus 7T would be a lot different compared to 90 Hz. Now, after 4 hours, the Note 10 Plus is at 58%, iPhone 11 is at 59%, iPhone 11 Pro Max at 69%, OnePlus 7T at 54%, P30 Pro at 66%, and iPhone 11 Pro at 60%. I gotta give it credit to Apple. 3,046 milliamp hour battery at 60%. It's beating out the bigger 4,300 milliamps in the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. That is what is called true hardware to software optimization. That's the one thing that Android devices are currently missing. And the only other Android device right now that's doing it well is the P30 or the Huawei series of the devices. Now, after 5 hours of use, the Note 10 Plus is at 51%, iPhone 11 at 50%, iPhone 11 Pro Max at 62%, OnePlus 7T 43%, P30 Pro 58%, iPhone 11 Pro at 51%. 6 hours goes by, Note 10 Plus at 37%, iPhone 11 at 40%, iPhone 11 Pro Max 53%, OnePlus 7T at 31%, P30 Pro at 46%, and the iPhone 11 Pro at 39%. 7 hours goes by, Note 10 Plus 27%, iPhone 11 27%, iPhone 11 Pro 45%, OnePlus 7T 18%, and P30 Pro 36%. And last up is the iPhone 11 Pro at 28%. One thing I do want to mention, because I forgot to mention this earlier, all displays on the table have been set to 50% brightness. So I tried to make this as equal as possible. 8 hours goes by, the Note 10 Plus is at 17%, iPhone 11 at 17%, iPhone 11 Pro Max 35%, OnePlus 7T 7%, P30 Pro is at 26%, and the iPhone 11 Pro is at 17%. Finally, after 8 hours and 33 minutes, the OnePlus 7T is the first phone to completely drain its battery. 27 minutes later, we have the Note 10 Plus at 8%, iPhone 11 at 6%, iPhone 11 Pro Max at 27%, leading the way, P30 Pro at 17%, and iPhone 11 Pro at 8%. 24 minutes later, the iPhone 11 and the Note 10 Plus, like literally within 2 to 3 seconds from each other, die and completely lose all of its battery. 3 minutes later, the iPhone 11 Pro completely degrades its battery and is at 0%. And then we get to 10 hours and the P30 Pro is at 3% and the Pro Max is at 16%. 10 hours and 3 minutes goes by, the P30 Pro finally loses all of its battery. But this year's champion is now an iPhone after 11 hours. It's at 8%, it's still not dead yet. This phone did not die for a very long time. It didn't finish until well after 11 hours when the iPhone 11 Pro Max completely drained all of its battery. So anyways, that wraps up this discharge test. The battery life on all these devices are pretty good, with the OnePlus 7T needing a little bit of work because of that 90Hz display. The Pro Max is the new king. I'm sure things will change as new devices come out onto the market. And like I said in the beginning of this video, this is not a scientific approach to your battery training. Everybody's results are going to be different, but we have a good idea that the 11 Pro Max is holding the lead right now. Anyways, let me know what I can improve for the next one. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I almost dropped that.